Mic check 1 2. 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 Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Random Show. Welcome back to the Random Show. Welcome back to the Random Show. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? Hope you're good. Hope you're hanging in there just as I am. We're approaching the home stretch now. We're approaching the home stretch now of this 31-day marathon. We're getting closer and closer and closer to finishing this fucking shit. I'm tired of it. I know some of you are tired of it. So big up the stream chat. I appreciate you for hanging in there with me. We are now on what? 48? No, we're now on 21. Day 21. Day 21. Episode number 486, I think. 486 episode Random Show, which is crazy. I'm nearly approaching 500 episodes of the Random Show. I'm nearly approaching 500 episodes of the Random Show. Think about it. I started Taz way earlier, and I'm only on 900 episodes of Taz, but I've somehow got 500 episodes of the Random Show. Wow. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Big up everybody that tunes in, that listens to me fucking waffle all that time. I appreciate you. You don't have to. You could be anywhere else in the world, but the fact that you come and sit and with me means a lot. Means a lot. Means a lot. Big up the stream chat. Big up everybody tuning in. We are day number 21 of our 31-day marathon stream. We're trying to hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. If you want to become a member and get access to member-only content and shit, there's a link in the description. All that good shit. You could also gift membership via the little dollar icon thing on the stream chat window. And please be aware, for this week only, don't worry, next week I'll make it open, but for this week only, to help drive up the memberships, I am making chat members only for this week only. But tomorrow's stream will be open to everybody. This week only will be members only stream, but tomorrow's stream, which I'll do in the daytime, will be open to everybody to comment in. But if you want to take part, make sure you jump on and get involved. Click the link in the description. Click the link in the description. Cool. Let's go on. Big up the stream chat. Big up AdiZ. Big up Gian Roger. Purple Pidge, I see you. Big up RR Skins. You can't get to 31 without 21. Exactly. Exactly. That almost sounds like that almost sounds a bit creepy, but I get what you mean. Big up RR Skins. Big up Mr. Studio Girl as well. Big up who else is here? Big up Patagonia as well, that was here earlier. Big up you. Let's get right into the show. Let's just dive on in because we don't have much to talk about, to be fair. We don't have crazy amounts, but we do have the main chunk, which will be Tfatk reaction, right? But let's get to the main part, the main parts of the show, or the intro. So first thing I want to talk about is this. LeBron James sat down recently with Speedy from Complex, had a quick little interview. He doesn't really do these much, to be fair. I'm surprised he sat down with this guy, but I'm not sure what he's promoting. He's promoting something. He sat down with him. Pretty loose, fun interview for the most part. I think they did a good job. They didn't really ask him many chatty-patty questions. It was mostly kind of geared around, like meme stuff online and shit. And he was a good sport about it and responded well. But one of the semi-serious questions they did ask him about, apart from asking him about his relationship with his wife and shit, was his relationship with Drake, which we know is kind of deteriorated, right, because of the whole Kendrick battle. So they did ask him about that whole thing, because if we all remember when the battle was popping off and Kendrick was doing shows, I think the reason why they fell out was because I think either LeBron posted the song on his Instagram stories, or he popped out to the show and he was really enjoying himself. And obviously with Drake feeling that that song was trying to paint him out to be a pedo, and he took offense to it, and obviously taking it to court to it, and he's like really upset about that song. If you're Drake's friend and you're going to a Kendrick show where he's talking about your best friend being a pedo, you're not going to receive that too well. So Drake obviously wasn't too happy about it, and I don't think they've been the same ever since in terms of relationship wise. And obviously most people are siding with Drake in this scenario, saying, oh yeah, LeBron James switched up on him and LeBron were boys, they were cool, he just went to the party and shit, didn't really think much about Drake's feelings. And Drake is totally the right, LeBron isn't. So I was curious to hear what LeBron James' reaction to that question would be. And for the most part, he played it safe, which would make sense, innit? LeBron James is super, super media trained. But he did play it safe and gave a pretty, I guess, obvious answer for LeBron. But it was interesting nonetheless. This is him responding to the Drake question.
Someone you have been friends with seemingly forever, Drake. Are y'all cool? What's the status there? Is this someone you always have love for?
Always. Always wish him the best. Obviously, different places right now. Currently, he's doing his thing. I'm doing mine. But it's always love for sure.
I don't think I believe him. Number one, the way he was answering the question with his hand slightly covering his mouth. Again, I'm no body language expert or anything, but I'm sure there's something in that, right? How he's kind of speaking for a good 5 to 10 seconds with his hand in front of his mouth. That wasn't all there. I also think Speedy gave him an out in terms of, is there always going to be love there? Do you know what I mean? That was a bit of an out to kind of give us the media trained polite answer. I think maybe if you would have left it there, like, you're someone you're very close to, but you don't really see you around him anymore, Drake has a relationship with that guy, and just left it at that. But I think him saying, will it always be love, kind of gave him an easy out. And lastly, I'm just not a fan of this. Like, I feel like it's a form of gaslighting in a way. Maybe it isn't, maybe it is. But I only recognize it because Brendan Schaub does this a lot, right? Where he will say, oh yeah, me and XYZ person are cool. We're good, no problem there whatsoever, knowing full well that other person hates them. But he publicly will say those things. I think he publicly says those things as a way to put the other person in the corner, to back them up so that they have to now be cool, because you can't crash. Like, imagine if you have a problem with somebody, but then they go on air and say you're cool and they love you and they appreciate your work. You can't then, when you see them, crash out, because it'll make you look like a psycho, because they were in media saying how much they loved you and you looked up to you and shit. Even though everyone, even though you know the truth behind the scenes, you kind of have to say that. So I guess that's what LeBron did in that moment, right? He just said the most media cookie cutter trained question answer ever. But what also doesn't get stressed enough is that he's not really in the victim part of things, to be honest. LeBron, he willingly decided to pop out at the fucking Kendrick pop out, I think that's what it's called, right? Knowing full well that they were going through a proper beef, or a battle at least, where they were trying to end each other's career, where Kendrick may have suggested some things about Drake that he didn't appreciate. So seeing somebody you grew up with, or seeing somebody that you kind of idolized, seeing somebody that you had tattooed on your body, for fuck's sake, jumping up and down on stage on somebody that's trying to end your career, I understand why Drake didn't take it too well. I get it. So I don't really like how LeBron's trying to act like, there's no big issue, no big problem. It's our brother. Come on. Maybe he doesn't need to explain the details to us and stuff. I get that. But that disingenuous sort of like, oh yeah, there's no issue. Of course we're fine. It's like, you're not fine. You're not fine. You're not fine. But I guess that's the best way to answer that question and keep it away from the news. But of course it'll just, stir more in the pot. But I'd imagine most likely a lot of those guys haven't, the guys that sided with Kendrick during the battle, I'm assuming a lot of those guys and girls haven't probably spoken to or probably seen Drake in a long time, So I get why he's saying what he's saying. Maybe it's his way of kind of extending an olive branch. That could be possible. Who knows? But big up LeBron for answering anyway. The interview clips what I've seen so far are pretty decent. I recommend you check it out. He does answer most questions pretty honestly, I think, and comes across as his charming, charismatic self as per usual. Cool. Next post. Let's do this one. There's this post by Bert Kreischer that was going viral on the fucking Fire the Kids subreddit that I want to watch with you guys together. But before we do that, look at one of these screen grabs. Look at one of these fucking cover shots for his Instagram. He looks like a tomato, isn't it? Obviously, I'm sure it's the lighting that's making him look extra pinky and reddish, but Jesus Christ, bro. So much red, so much pink, so much alcohol. But yeah, this is the video that everyone's going crazy over. Let's see what this is about. What happened? I think he got punched in the back of the head or something, right? That's what I think happened. So the caption says, "In-flight fight." And there's Bert Kreischer sat on his chair with recording himself with a selfie camera. I wonder what's happening here. Let's put some sound on. Jesus Christ, bro, that's too close. That's a bulbous nose, isn't it? That looks like an alcoholic's nose, because I remember it from Alex Ferguson when he used to be manager of United. how his nose would get bigger and smaller based on how often he was drinking. But yeah, that's a proper alky nose from Bert. That's a proper alky nose. I wonder why alcohol even goes to your nose anyway. I wonder why that's your nose that fucking inflames and nowhere else in your body. It's annoying.
And I'm going live because I know if I'm live, I won't say anything. And I'll just get off the plane.
Being a man in your 50s or 60s and recording these many selfie videos of yourself is fucking odd anyway. But I guess somebody will punch the back of his head or punch someone else back of the head and they're fighting. I don't know.
Just stay with me. Stay with me and keep me honest. Keep me a good person. I mean, it was fucking crazy and I started to lose my mind. I was sound asleep.
You have a gun?
Big up Gitsy, big up Gitsy.
Whiskey nose. Tiger thick whiskey nose.
Yes, whiskey nose, like yeah. Whiskey nose, yeah. Big up Gitsy, big up Gitsy. Whiskey nose.
Just hang out with me for 2 minutes. Get me off this fucking plane. Please. I'm not gonna show her. I'm not that person. I just know that if you're listening to me, I won't do anything, and I'll be kind and polite, accountable.
So somebody punched him in the back of the head as he's sitting on the plane, and instead of him politely turning around, getting the attention, say, "Hey, do you mind? Sorry, you accidentally punched in the back of the head," and I don't know, just sorting out the issue there and then, he jumps on his phone and posts and records a video of himself complaining about the person who punched him back, and never actually confront him or say nothing. Just okay. Weird. Like, huh? Just talk to the person behind you. Why are you posting it on social? What do you want us to do? What do you want the viewers to do? What do you want your fans to do?
How's that sound? Accountable? I was, my seat was reclined. So. I sent her the voicemail. My wife's back there.
They don't even sit together. That's hilarious, by the way. I like that they don't sit together. I like that they don't sit together. Leon's like, look, I need some rest, man. I need a break from you. Too much Bert Kreischer every day. I need a break. You sit over there. I love how they don't even sit together in a plane. That's fucking hilarious. She's like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you. Just hang out with me for 2 minutes. Get me off this plane. Get me to Chicago. I got a show in Rockford tomorrow. I don't want to say anything hateful or hurtful. I'm already lined them up. Thank you, Matt.
What? Was he live or something? Is that why he's doing? Was he live? I think he's recording voice notes too, by the way. As he's recording his videos, recording voice notes, sending them to somebody. What the fuck is he doing, man? What a mess. Okay, cool. There we go. We can't hear nothing because he's recording a voice note. The sound's gonna come back in a minute, but there we go. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get this. The whole point of this video at all. I don't get it. Apart from seeing his nasty, bulbous, and inflamed whiskey nose, right, as Gitsy would say. Apart from having to see that fucking nose and that face, and again, I always wonder too. By the way, hopefully somebody writes a dissertation about this. Why do the most ugliest and more, what do you call it? Why do the most objectively ugliest people seem to have the most confidence in terms of recording themselves on camera all the time with selfie videos? They love it. Always talking about something themselves. So this for me, it's like, come on, bro. Like, what the hell? Okay. There's Bert Kreischer then. There's Bert Kreischer. There's Bert Kreischer. There's Bert Kreischer. Alright, let's move on quickly. And let's do a little bit of this news. Craig Jones exposes Cable Stevenson and Gordon Ryan. Dark's past. Big up Fight Society for this one.
Gable Steveson just won his MMA debut, and instead of the headlines celebrating the win and looking ahead to his future, the headlines are about fight-fixing accusations, dark past allegations, and his connections to two of the most controversial figures in combat sports, John Jones and Gordon Ryan. And all of this is being exposed by Craig Jones. Stick around to hear the full story. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. Gable Steveson is a former Olympic gold medalist wrestler at heavyweight, former NCAA.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this guy. I think he's critically to shit. I remember hearing a lot about him when he was actually wrestling, and he hadn't made the move to yet. When I heard about him, he hadn't moved to the WWE yet. He hadn't even given MMA a chance. He was just wrestling, and everyone's talking about this freak. And I don't know, something happened in between then and there where he's kind of like fallen off. The hype's not there as much. Obviously, the UFC, the MMA fight helped, but I wonder what happened, man. I felt like he came to fighting a bit too soon. Maybe he could have juiced, a little bit more at wrestling or something else, but I wonder what happened. I'm curious to find out. Big up Fly Society.
Champion at the University of Minnesota, former WWE prospect, kind of, and now budding MMA prospect. And this right here was Gable Steveson's win at LFA 217. You see, he shoots for that right there. Leg snatch, single leg, gets on top. His opponent has almost nowhere to go from there.
Too easy.
Slides into mount, stands up in mount, which is super crazy. Somebody with any sort of jiu-jitsu skill would not just sit there on bottom. But there it is. That is the first career finish in his first career fight for Gable Steveson. And the controversy about this win actually comes in the form of the Craig Jones Invitational, which took place 2 weeks before this.
I love Craig Jones. He's a fucking brilliant addition to mixed martial arts, combat sports, jiu-jitsu, whatever. He's a breath of fresh air. I love Craig Jones.
Fight, and Gable Steveson was supposed to compete with Craig Jones in a grappling match 2 weeks before this fight, but he pulled out with turf toe. And before they found Chael Sonnen to replace Gable Steveson at this event, Craig Jones had this to say.
Yo, he beats, I think I saw the video of him submitting Chael or like making him fucking go out past that so he didn't have the tap. I think that happened in like 10 seconds, 15 seconds or something stupid like that. Jesus Christ.
About trusting somebody like Gable Steveson that trains with John Jones.
And he's also repping wrestling, I guess, considering Gable just pulled out.
Yeah, someone has to fly the wrestling flag because as it stands, those flags are pride flags, in my opinion.
And I don't think Gable and Gordon love that. That's actually casting aspersions. I don't know Gable's thoughts on the homosexual community, but...
Yeah, I mean, obviously, your biggest inspiration in journalism would be MMA Guru, and if the allegations he made against John Jones are correct, and there are many, and that's who Gable sees as his idol, and he also spends time with Cuckzilla, should have known better than to trust a man like that,
Now, who is Cuckzilla? We will get to that in a moment, but some time has gone by. CJI took place. Craig Jones ended up submitting Chael Sonnen twice in a row. And Gable Steveson went on to win his MMA debut 2 weeks later. And just this week, Gable Steveson went on the Ariel Helwani show where he alleges that Craig Jones wanted him to take a dive, throw their match, lose on purpose. And here's the clip right here.
If I don't ask you about Craig Jones, because you were in the news, you were supposed to compete against him. We've heard from him. We haven't heard from you. And so I'd love to know your side of the story. Why didn't that match happen at the end of August?
With who?
With Craig Jones.
Oh,
with who?
Yeah, that match was, we came about in February. Match was going to happen.
Hey, yo, nice cropping, lad. Nice cropping. Why is he covering the man's face for? Why is he covering the man's mouth for? Why is he covering the man's mouth?
Up a few times. Everything was all good. Long story short, couple funky stipulations around there that we didn't agree upon. They wanted to keep it. I got turf toe and wasn't there.
Okay, can I ask what those stipulations were? What do you mean by that?
Yes, please.
Hey, can you do something for me? And that's about all.
Jesus Christ, what do you mean?
Do something for me. What are you trying to say? What does that mean?
You know what I'm trying to say.
Can I ask what you're trying to say?
Yeah, of course.
Are you implying that?
I'm just trying to keep it as nice as possible, because when I came out of that match and I had turf toe, because I wrestled the whole NCAA season with a bad turf toe, which I got like the second duel of the season, and I went through the whole season with it, even the NCAA finals and everything. So it was lingering, but when it came back, I was like, I can't have another mishap of me falling to someone in a way that's not possible. So that's why I had to pull out. But before that, if you really want to know, there was a look in the eye of saying, hey, I'm going to retire after this match. I don't want to take this loss. Can you do this for me? And we'll leave it as that.
Okay. In other words, you are saying that he asked you to basically lose to him on purpose, like to work the match? And you didn't want to do that. And so did you get hurt before that or after that?
I was actually lingering the whole time. And so I was kind of baseline and then just stepped wrong. And, you know, turf toe, like Joe Burrow just got turf toe and he's out for 3 months. It could just pop up whenever.
Okay, so there is his allegations of Craig Jones asking for a favor in having that.
I'll be surprised that's true, you know. Craig Jones strikes me as a purist, you know. I'll be surprised that's true. Or maybe he meant it as all part of one big trial. If Jiggy came in, you know, maybe, I don't know. But I find it odd to believe that he'd leave that much evidence, you know, back home. Like, you know, where's he gonna move it, don't I guess that's the whole problem.
Jiu-jitsu match thrown. Very much like his training partner, John Jones, who you see with him right here. Gable Steveson does.
Oh, is that true? Big up Craig. So big up, Craig doesn't care about losing. His team was called the B team. Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised we didn't fire him. I think that would have been good for both their careers, actually.
Does have a very, you know, kind of zesty voice. He's got that limp-wristed voice. He also is portraying a very polite, soft-spoken, clean-cut image while having some very, very dark things in his past, also like his training partner, John Jones. And Craig Jones brought those to light. Quick break. If you're loving this video and you want more from Fight Society, click that join button down below to become a channel member today, where you'll get access to members-only live streams, behind-the-scenes vlogs, and all the unfiltered stuff that we don't post to the main channel. Back to the video. Because he posted this right here, a tweet of Gable Stevenson's claims, saying Gable Steveson claims Greg Jones asked him to take a dive in their canceled CJI 2 match. If you really want to ask, there was an eye of saying, hey, I don't want to take this loss. Maybe he doesn't because he hasn't accomplished anything in this field. He's lost to Gordon Ryan 3 or 4 times. And Craig Jones says, so you agreed to a work, but then got injured and had to pull out of a work? Make that make sense for me. A very good point. Then goes on to highlight the darkest thing that is in Gable Stevenson's past.
What's that?
While wrestling at the University of Minnesota, he allegedly sexually assaulted a woman along with a teammate of his on the wrestling team. The woman accused him of sexual assault because of a loophole in Minnesota law that said a person could not be charged for sexual assault or rape if the alleged victim was willingly intoxicated. And that loophole got closed a couple years later, interestingly enough. So he was let off of the hook. I'm not saying anything about his guilty or not guilty status on that, but he was accused of something terrible and a loophole got him out of it. And now this is a front page athlete, was going to be in the WWE. It didn't work out, wants to make it to the UFC now and doing things like this. And Craig Jones involves Gordon Ryan as well. And this is the final person of this big puzzle to tie together. We have the Craig Jones Gordon Ryan beef. We have the Craig Jones UFC / Gable Steveson beef. And then of course we have John Jones with relationships to both of those guys. As you can see right here, they train together. Gordon Ryan at the time, right here you see it says Gordon loves jiu-jitsu. Gable pulling out of the main event of CJI 2, and then fighting less than 2 weeks later on UFC Fight Pass is such a baller move by the UFC. Who has been attacked nonstop for unknown reasons by CJ, Craig Jones. I bet Craig Jones never put a pullout clause in there for Gable, which would penalize him for pulling out. I'm sure there wasn't. Otherwise, Gable would not have pulled out. I'm sure he read thoroughly through his contract before signing, thanks to the advocacy about this matter from Craig Jones. Now Craig Jones can't fight any real jiu-jitsu guy because he'll surely lose like always and likely won't have time to find another joke match in time. My man can't win at anything at least I'm still untouchable. Before we get into the Gordon Ryan part, let's take a look at what happened here. Because as you can see right here, this article from ESPN in 2019, the 2 University of Minnesota wrestlers who were arrested on suspicion of criminal sexual conduct in June will not face criminal...
Jesus Christ, bro. That's a heavy thing for someone to read in relation to you, isn't it? Criminal sex, like, what the fuck?
Charges due to inadequate evidence. Gable Steveson and Dylan Martinez were arrested after a female reported she had been raped on June 15th and went to a hospital for treatment. Hennepin County attorney Mike Freeman told reporters that in all criminal cases, including sexual crimes, they must meet the standard of proof beyond reasonable doubt. There are often conflicting versions of what happened, and this case is no exception, blah, 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 blah. He's just glad that is over. The University of Minnesota Athletic Department said Friday that it lifted the suspensions and that both athletes are immediately eligible to rejoin team activities.
That seems convenient.
Stevenson is one of the top heavyweights and an aspiring Olympian, so this was before the Olympics. 35-2 as a freshman. Now, the final piece of this puzzle is the Gordon Ryan aspect, because Gable Steveson has UFC ties. All of these guys have UFC ties. John Jones, longtime UFC champion, just retired and then came back. Gable Steveson, very closely tied to John Jones, wants to fight in the UFC now. Gordon Ryan has headlined UFC Fight Pass Jiu-Jitsu Invitationals, trains with John Jones and Gordon Ryan. So all 3 of these guys have UFC ties. And when you consider the fact CJI to use in their own format, there may be a little bit of collusion.
Really?
To bring back a term from the first Trump administration, collusion. Why does Craig Jones have beef with Gordon Ryan? That goes all the way back to the fallout and the end of the Danaher Death Squad, where allegedly the team fell apart for some crazy reasons. Now, the reasons these are...
So anyway, big up Craig Jones, big up Blood Clot Craig Jones, big up Blood Clot Craig Jones. Recommend you watch the full thing. We'll stop it there. Won't watch the full thing. But it's courtesy of this channel called Fidget Society. John Jones exposes Gable Stevenson and Gordon Ryan's dark parks. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you check it out. He does good stuff. He does good freaking stuff. Thank everybody for tuning in. If you're choosing in, you like what we're seeing, you see what we like the stream down below. Don't be stingy. Like the stream down below if you're enjoying what you see what you enjoy. Like the downstream down below. It's been quite fun to watch you glow up. Not gonna lie, you get me? So big up him, big up 424, big up everybody, you get me? Big up everybody. Let's move on then. Let's do another one. Let's maybe do, bear with me a second here. Where is it? Oh. Where is it? Bear with me a second. There you go. Let's do Joe Budden a little bit. Let's do 5. Let's do 5. Okay, it's not Joe Budden. What up, fam? Let's see Brendan filming an ad. He looks like he's on the hostage, isn't it? There's a gun behind the camera. Like, what? It's 5. It's 5. Yeah, it's 5. Let's go. Come on now. Not working. Okay, cool. Is it playing then? I've played that.
What's up, fam? The NFL season is finally here, and I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to hook you guys up. That's right. New customers bet 5 to get 200.
You can tell he's looking what he's looking at down below. And for some reason, one of his eyes is a bit droopy than the other one. I'm not sure if it's because he's concentrating, but I find that funny. Try to beat controversy and still got smoked anyway. Fuck her. What the hell? Okay, cool. Pick up this. Oh, I love how he doesn't even try to like do it properly. You know, just one take and bang. Maximum 2. Right here. Fucking wild, man. Wild. Let's continue. Cool. Let's actually play. I want to hear what it's saying. Let's actually play the sound. Is it playing? It's actually playing.
What's up, fam? The NFL season is finally here, and I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to hook you guys up. That's right. New customers bet 5 to get 200 instantly in bonus bets and 200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. That's 5 bet turning into 200 in bonus bets right away.
How do you do?
He does look a little bit ridiculous though. Howdy. I just hate this. That's why I hate the punch in between. Like, remember, I was a fighter, remember? So annoying, but hey, everyone's got their little thing in it. Everyone's got their little tingy ting ting. But here we are. So yeah, what else I was gonna show you guys? Bear with me a second. And then I think, have I done that? Yeah, let's do Joe Budden reacts a little bit, and then we'll go to Tfatk. Yeah, let's do a bit. Joe Budden reacts. I think to Melissa Ford's right hospital thing. Let's do this, and then we'll go back to Tfatk. Let's go. Boom. It's so interesting to me. Hold on one sec. There you go. Yeah, boom. Let's go.
I saw a post that was concerning to me, so I want to send a shout out. I want to send love, thoughts, and prayers to Melissa Ford, wherever she is, whatever she's going through. I saw something on the gram yesterday. I haven't spoken to her, but
I think there's no,
Joe Budden says he hasn't spoken to Melissa Ford since the hospital pic. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Melissa Ford posted a hospital pic on Instagram yesterday in her story where it appeared that she was bedridden or she had some type of procedure done or she may have been doing a movie. But what was interesting is that on the subsequent episode, Joe would reveal that he hasn't spoken to her. Now, this leaves many of the listeners confused about what may be going on. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say this is all fake. This is all COE, aka content over everything.
Which it is.
But I think the podcast has kind of this moral high ground that they take when it comes to certain situations. Like they'll joke about certain things. Health is not something they.
I like how big up Danny from the start, but I see a lot of people doing this. I like how people get like personally offended when somebody is missing and they don't explain why, or somebody's not been at the shop for a while. You know, they get really fucking butthurt if you go in there, you don't buy anything. They get really annoyed. It's kind of annoying people go in and don't want to buy anything. They just want to browse or bruise, whatever the fucking term is. So yeah, here we are, making a set of unfortunate, whatever, going forward. But here we are. Big up Danny from the start.
Would do. That would be another level of troll that I think they would not broach. There was also allusions to what else may have happened throughout the episode. They talked about Molly Curran and her departure from First Take and ESPN, with Mark Lamont straight up asking, would you handle a co-host departure like Stephen A. Smith did when Molly left?
Now
taking notes on that?
Now that's how that's.
If one of us were to depart, to be able to write something like that.
Now that was telling to me because I feel like that is currently what's happening with the podcast. And then there was another situation where Joe Budden mentioned someone taking pictures if they get hurt. So there's a lot of encompassing details that we have to acknowledge. And I know there's a lot of reactors out there trying to stay away from whatever Melissa Ford posted on social media. But I'm sorry, we got to talk about it because I think there's a situation brewing. And when that situation brews, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, I didn't broach it because I see something happening. Well, let's call it for what it is. Some people are going to get mad at me. I think
what's wrong?
That Melissa Ford was seeking attention with that post. Now, I'm not saying...
Of course she was. I mentioned it before in the previous stream. Of course she was. She's a big attention seeker. She acts very immature for a woman her age. I think she might be in her 50s or something. She acts like a fucking child. So I'm not surprised that she definitely was told to skedaddle from her own company. I bet you. And that jacket isn't even out, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I think it's coming out soon. It's not even in production yet. And you're already getting fucking cease and desist. Crazy. Let's play it here.
It's bad that she did it, but I'm trying to investigate why did she do it, especially because she hasn't been on a pod in damn near a month. It's about to be a month soon. Like in a couple of days, it's going to be exactly a month. And while many people have hinted that she said she was going to disappear or that she said she was going to film a movie, throughout the history of the podcast, there has been no co-host who has been allowed to leave the show for a whole month. And to double down on this, it's fourth quarter.
Okay.
This is literally the most important part of the year. Joe Budden does not want to be handling a transition during the peak listening point of the year. You got Cam Show, you got Charlemagne's Breakfast Club. They're all amping up while Joe Budden is in the mud trying to drive through, and one of his co-hosts is MIA, and I think that's what's happening. She's missing in action. I think something went down. Then she disappeared. and now she's gone. And if you look at the narratives that are circling, something has to be true. First, there's the narrative that she's going through some type of mental health crisis because of what may have happened on the show. Then she's not speaking to anybody. So I think it's looking really lawsuity. Not saying it's going to happen, but it looks a little bit lawsuitish to me. It looks a little bit, I'm trying to figure out how to come back. And that's another lane we got to talk about is if she comes back, things will never be the same.
They were never the same while she was on there anyway. They don't respect her enough. She touched a lot of shit. Don't take accountability for her mistakes. Always open to criticism. So it was always going to end this way. You get me? It was always going to end the way it was going to end. Let's be real. Let's be real. Cool. Let's continue then. Let's continue. Let's continue. What is it? Game time there. Bear me a second. There. Okay, cool. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Okie dokie. Let me play a couple Tfatk Ks and I think I'm gonna bounce and we'll reconvene this tomorrow. I know it's super short, but my brain is fried. Let's go to the first one. From Tfatk K, episode number 1122, I think, episode, the latest one. One thing I wanted to play for you guys was this clip here, right? This clip, which I don't get. Because this Brendan kind of partially re-explains the college football chucking a guy through a fucking glass plastic window thing. So as the story goes, I think I've mixed up probably a bit of it, but if I'm correct in thinking this, as the story goes, Brendan's sharing a room, I guess, or apartment, whatever, with somebody or a player in the team, and this player would stick post-it notes on everything they bought from the groceries, right, into put in the fridge. They stick it with labels and say the money. I mean, no joke thing. So, if that's the case, I don't really understand why these guys are upset or why Brendan's upset. You know, the guy was pissed off because he was getting his service, so they hooked him, and then they picked the slower shot. I don't know. Weird. I'm sure there's reason behind it, but this is a weird one. So let's play the clip where they talk about they can't hate people being precious, and then it diverts or whatever into a mentoring thing. But let me play it first, and let's play it first. It's kind of hard, not gonna lie. Let's continue. Let's go. And I'm pretty sure he put out a couple more songs, and then here you go, album done. You know what I mean? Fucking crazy, man. Crazy coming here. Crazy. But yeah, let's play the clip. Bear me a second. Let's play the clip. There you go. Boom.
That are super precious about their shit.
I told you I had that roommate in college who I ended up fighting where he put labels on everything in the cupboard.
That's the most annoying. I'll eat all your food.
And then he couldn't deal with me, so he called his mom, and then I got a random call, and his mom's like, you got to quit eating this stuff. I'm like, who is this?
His mom called you?
Freshmen in college.
That's it. You're out. You're out. You're a loser.
On all his Nutri-Grain bars, he took everyone individually out and labeled them with a Postie.
Okay. What?
He like took them all out. You know, they come. Nutri-Grain bars just come in a box, and then they're each individually wrapped.
I hate people.
He took
like
every
this
single
so
one out and wrote his name on it.
Well, that's like
Post-it.
people who they buy a really nice car, and I know this is different, but they'll keep a car cover on it, and they'll drive it once a month.
No.
One day complaining about the exact same thing the other day. Like, people don't drive enough. It's like, Jesus Christos, man. Just, okay, cool.
It's so good.
I'm like, listen, then they polish it. I'm like, fucking drive it.
Drive it.
You fucking precious bitch.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, Brent, did you actually take the stuff after he labeled it, or only before?
Oh, yeah, I took it. Yeah.
That are super precious about their shit.
I told you I had that roommate in college who I ended up fighting where he put labels on everything in the cupboard.
That's the most annoying. I'll eat all your food.
And then he couldn't deal with me, so he called his mom, and then I got a random call, and his mom's like, you got to quit eating this stuff. I'm like, who is this?
His mom called you?
Freshmen in college.
That's it. You're out.
Oh,
You're out. You're a loser.
On all his Nutri-Grain bars, he took everyone individually out and labeled them with a Postie.
But it's his stuff, though, isn't it? I understand it's a bit annoying when people do that sort of stuff, but it's his stuff. It's his groceries. Why don't you go buy your own? I really don't get this demand, this fucking insistence on them answers. Like, brother, why would they? Why would they have a private conversation? I mean, it's not going to help anything, really. But yeah, crazy shit. But he's begging a little bit too much, in my opinion. He's begging a little bit too much. But hey, sometimes, you gotta beg sometimes. From time to time, you get me? You gotta beg, you get me? Cool. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Oh, no, I think I know. And I'm going to come back tomorrow because I'm fucking knackered. And then we'll come back tomorrow and do a proper good one. A nice long one in the morning after I come back from the gym. Actually, that'll be good. And then we can continue on. I've got some more clips I want to play for you guys. So we're back tomorrow morning. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Don't be lame. Smash the like, hit subscribe. And we'll be back again tomorrow. All right? Tomorrow. Proper tomorrow. Energy and vibes tomorrow. But for now, take care, people. Be safe. Peace.